Welcome back to Facebook Friends Meet. Today I am happy to introduce you to my friend Tim. Hi Tim,
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm good. So Tim, I looked online and we've been Facebook friends since April 2012, which is only a year and a half.
Yes.
But we go back a really long way, right?
We do. Can I say how long?
Yes, please do.
Okay. We go back to 1987.
Oh my gosh, really?
Do you want to do another take and not mention the year? We met in the 20th century. I was an usher, concession stand, ticket seller, ticket taker at a movie theater that is no longer there.
It isn't?
At the Sunrise Mall, which is no longer the Sunrise Mall, it's the Westfield Mall, or one of them. The mall's still there, but it's...
Oh, it is? Isn't the mall still there? It's like part of my childhood. The Sunrise Mall's still there?
The mall's still there, but the movie theater is a shoe store.
Wow.
And we started
Wow.
talking, and at the time, I don't even know if you still are, I hope you are to some extent, you were writing and performing songs on
Yes.
acoustic guitar.
Yes, yes, yes. You filmed me once. Do you remember? In a cemetery?
Yes, and I have it on disc now. We were going to make this ultra serious music video for you, and we got about 30 seconds in where she's walking through a cemetery in Massapequa. And,
That's my hometown.
And she almost fell flat on her face on this giant branch. You just
I did?
tripped, but you kept your composure. But then you look at the camera laughing, and then that was it. We gave up. That was
gave
it.
up.
We figured this is not going to work.
We were young. We got distracted.
Yeah, and I still have cassettes
You do?
in my museum.
Really?
Yes, I have a couple of your songs. I have you rehearsing with a band, Beyond the Male Myth. Remember that?
Yes, yes.
Which I think was probably before it must have been before we met because you already had the tapes.
Yeah, it was. The band lasted about 20 minutes, literally. But before that, in college, I was in an all-girl band with a male drummer. Okay, but originally it was an all-girl band with Pam Schwartz, who we found each other on Facebook, and Pam and I were really like leading the band. We were the ones who got the band to perform somewhere. Nobody wanted to perform. They wanted to be perfect. We were like, oh, let's do it. The band wouldn't do it. We wound up breaking it, but Pam and I did a lot together. But back to what you're saying. So yeah, so I'm going to tell you the story about how Tim and I met, because you don't remember exactly.
No, I do remember exactly.
You do?
I think so.
Okay, you tell me your version.
My version, it's embarrassing to say it now, because but
It is?
I saw you leaving the movie theater, and I was probably at the front, and I said, hey, that girl looks like Suzanne Vega, because you had the straight hair, and you're white, and the funny thing was, as it turns out, you were writing and performing songs on acoustic guitar, so I don't know.
Yes, that did happen, but we met before that.
No, did we?
We
Then
did.
this is going to be really embarrassing, because
Yeah.
I don't remember this at all.
Okay, so we met about maybe an hour and a half before that.
Oh no,
You-
I think I do. Yes.
Is it coming back to you?
Yeah.
You
And you're
wouldn't
mad at me.
You wouldn't let me. You wouldn't let me in the movie theater. I had to
Did
take.
you have pizza?
No, no. All I remember is, you know how you would buy a ticket at the booth that was on the other side of the circle?
It was out in the middle of the mall.
Nowhere. And then you had to walk with your ticket to the movie theater?
Why wouldn't I let you in?
I'm trying to remember. Like, legally, I should have been allowed in the movie theater, but you were like, no,
Too many
you have
rules.
to go. Yeah, it was too many rules, just got in the way. But then afterward, I came out of the movies, and we went, and he said, you look like Suzanne Vega.
And then you ended up working there.
For what?
For like, yeah, an hour.
1 week. I was there for 1 week. And then, yes, I remember we became friends, and Tim was very, very supportive of my music. I remember I didn't have a typewriter, and you typed up the lyrics of all my songs really
Did
tiny.
I?
Yeah.
That might have been somebody else.
No, it was you.
Because I remember it at Abraham and Strauss, which also no longer exists. Everywhere we've been, we've just left a trail of smoke. At Abraham and Strauss, I had you stop and write down the lyrics. She wrote a song called If the Heart, which it's a shame that you still have not, as far as I knew, you've never actually recorded it. I have the rehearsal, the Beyond the Male Myth rehearsal, but I always loved that song, and I had you stand there and write the lyrics out.
You know what, it's funny you should say that, because I wrote and produced a play called Ophelia.
I did the poster.
Yes!
You introduced me to Joe Franklin. who was a wonderful man.
Yeah.
My mother used to watch him religiously.
So, okay, so then that was 2004.
Maybe we got back in touch from MySpace. I think that's how we got back in touch after so many years.
I remember that. Okay, so let me back up. Right. So I wrote a play called Ophelia, and Tim did the artwork for it. When I wound up doing the show, someone said, I hear musicals like sell better, so I stuck a bunch of my songs from 15 years prior into it, including If the Heart, into that. And my friend Dory, who has been my best friend since we were 15, just the other day she said to me, I really wish you would perform. She said, I love If the Heart.
When are we going to hear your songs? You didn't know I was coming here to promote you as much as myself.
Figures. Tricked again. Okay, I'm going to perform If the Heart. To be announced. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So great, and now we're here. Would you like to tell the audience about Springtime for Autism?
Springtime for Autism is a comic I did about my daughter Emily, who has autism. All the other comics I've ever done have been, you remember my old silly Zook and Max comics, which I still do, and now we're doing them as puppets. But this is something that's completely serious. This was a challenge to do, and I've been working on a third one. The second one is Summer of Nuv, because Emily still, to this day, pronounces her L's as N's. Aww. So it's I Nuv You. So,
that's so sweet.
And the response to this was just overwhelming. I didn't know how people would react to this because, again, all I've ever done before this is just dumb jokes. And I did a 2-pager about 9/11, but other than that, I'd never done anything serious. And people tell me that they cried to this and they learned about autism. And I remember doing a convention in 2006, and this memory always stands out. Somebody bought the comic, and he stood there and read it because it was only, it was the first issue, so it's a pretty quick read. As you can see, there aren't a lot of words. And he stood there, and he could barely speak, and with tears in his eyes, he said, "Thank you for making this. It's really moving." And I was just dumbfounded that I would do something that would have this effect on somebody. I said, "Thank you. That's moving to say that." So I sold however many I sold. Lately I've just been making more copies when I need them and mailing them out, so if somebody wants to send me their address, I'll gladly send them, and I'll throw in a couple of the old Zook and Max mini comics for a little, a sorbet, or a little,
Yeah, a little potpourri.
Palate cleanser.
That's so nice, that's great. Tim, it was so great to see you again.
Likewise.
After all these years. It's been
almost 10 years.
Yeah, almost 10 years.
Since Ophelia.
Well.
And I shouldn't mention this, but I think it was called A Perfect Fit, where maybe you were in it for a second.
Yeah! Yeah, I was, and you don't even see my face. I have a speaking part, but you don't see my face.
I didn't hear the speaking part, and I want to mention this, but I shouldn't mention this.
What?
And maybe you'll cut it, but I went to, this was after a convention, MoCA, the Arts Festival, where I premiered Springtime for Autism, so this was 2005.
Okay.
But I'll say it if you want to use it. I went to see the film, and I sat through the film.
Because you knew I was in it?
Yeah, you sent an email, back when people were emailing.
I probably thought that you could actually see me in the film, being that I had a speaking part.
Well, I had posted this on LiveJournal when it happened, but I got thrown out of there.
You deserved it! That was karma! Getting thrown out of a movie theater because of me!
We won't say why. We'll just say that we'll leave it at that. If you want to know, email me. I'll let you know.
Tim, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
It was great to see you again.
Good to see you too.
See you guys next week. Bye.